Hey guys, Simon here, and today is the first episode of Games I've Been Playing. Okay, well thank you all for tuning in. This is a new series that I've wanted to bring to the channel for a while now. I kind of got the idea from my pickup videos, as at the end of each one, I always do a little recap of games I've been playing, and then I ask you all what games you've been playing and to let me know in the comments below. So I figured, why not turn it into an in-depth series and we can all share some gaming stories. Let's get started. Rightio, so first up is Hexane for the PS1, and this is my original copy that I purchased over 23 years ago. It's a game that I could never finish as a kid because I found the level design really confusing, despite absolutely loving the game, and I would return to it time and time again, as it always just drew me in with its atmosphere. It was just so damn good, and I'm a sucker for a good atmosphere and setting with any game. But yeah, as a kid, I just couldn't finish it. Anyway, for the past few years, over the Christmas break, I like to get stuck into retro games, particularly FPSs. And for Christmas of 2020, I set the task of finally finishing Hexane, which I did, but not without struggle, because as previously mentioned, the level design in Hexane can get very confusing, as it's not very linear because it utilizes hub worlds. So when you play, depending on the area you're in, there's normally a main hub with multiple other hubs that branch off, and you'll need to visit all of these hubs to find keys or switches that will open up a door in a hub you either have or haven't visited, and the game won't really tell you this. All you might get is a sound with some text on the screen saying 1/9 of the puzzle has been solved, but eventually you will find everything, then a door in the main hub will open, allowing you to move on to the next hub world. So yeah, it gets really confusing, and you just need to remember all the areas you've been to or you haven't been to and what's in them. But despite how frustrating the design of the hubs can be, this game just oozes pure 90s FPS charm, and I've gained a real appreciation for what the developers at Ravensoft did with Hexane in regards to design choices, because it's just so different from other shooters of the same age. But I finally managed to complete it, and it was great, just sitting down most evenings while away on holidays with a cold beer, grinding through this retro classic, then seeing the credit screen roll after 23 years was a moment I'm going to remember for a long time. Next up is Nightmare Creatures 2, the sequel to one of my favourite games of all time. I love Nightmare Creatures, but Nightmare Creatures 2, not so much. So a little backstory first. Now, Nightmare Creatures 2 released really late in the PlayStation 1's life cycle. I think it was October back in the year 2000. And when I saw it in gaming magazines for the first time, I completely flipped out. I needed this game, but I could never find it in the shops, as it seemed to have a pretty limited run and I couldn't get a copy. So I forgot about it and moved on. Fast forward to the year 2012, I came across Nightmare Creatures 2 on eBay, and this was right around the time I started collecting games. So I've made the purchase and it arrived at my doorstep 2 weeks later. I was pretty excited to try it out, but upon booting it up and playing through the first level, I just wasn't impressed. The controls felt really sluggish and the character movement felt restricted. Combat was clunky and the enemy AI was really unpredictable. I just didn't enjoy it. I was really disappointed, and I really did give it a few attempts, but it just didn't capture me like the first game did. However, over the past Christmas holidays, after I finished Hexane, I decided to give Nightmare Creatures 2 another go. Just sit down and really try and figure it out. Now, a key point I need to mention is that I wasn't playing this game on original hardware. I was using my PS3 Slim's backwards compatibility mode, and I think that might have messed with the game, because when you were walking around the levels, the frame rate was pretty smooth and everything ran pretty well for the most part. But whenever you would engage in combat, it felt like the game would speed up and run twice as quick, and the enemy movement was really skittish. It just didn't seem right, so I took to YouTube to watch some footage, and sure enough, everyone else's gameplay footage, when they were in combat, the game ran really smoothly. So I think I need to try this out, but on original hardware so it's not buggy. However, I still ended up playing the game about halfway through, and there were some genuinely cool moments in regards to locations. For example, you find yourself in Adam Crowley's original laboratory that you see from the cutscene from the start of the original game, as well as some references to original characters, Ignatius and Nadia, which I thought was pretty awesome. So I'm kind of hoping there's more moments like that further on in the game when I get to sit down but actually play this on original hardware, so it's not too buggy, but I'll try this one again later. And the last game I've been playing recently is Demon's Souls. Now, out of all the PS5 games I purchased at launch, Demon's Souls is the one I've been playing the most. I think I'm getting close to about 200 hours of playtime spread out over multiple characters. I freaking love it, as I missed out on the original Demon's Souls back during the 7th gen. So having the PS5 remake be my introduction to this title, I'm really enjoying it. So far, I've built about 4 characters. 3 of them are strength builds and 1 is a dex build. Without a doubt, strength builds are my favourite when it comes to Souls games, as it's really satisfying to one-shot enemies with a 2-handed greatsword, with my favourite weapon in Demon's Souls being the Dragon Bone Smasher at +5, buffed with Cursed Weapon. It deals some serious damage in PvE. However, in PvP, it can be difficult as it's slow to swing, but when you do hit an opponent, it normally results in sending them flying or getting smashed into dust. As for Demon's Souls' story, it's very cryptic, much like other Souls games, but there's tons of great lore attached in item descriptions, so when you find a new weapon or spell, etc., make sure you read the description. Gameplay wise, it can be a little difficult, as is the stigma with most Souls games, but I'd go as far to say that this is the easiest installment in the franchise, and it's a good one to start on. But all in all, it's a great game. I've just snagged the Platinum Trophy, so now I think I'm going to keep on building up my Dex character a little more, maybe do some PvP and play through the story one last time before I move on to a different game. But I'm really enjoying this, and I hope in the future we get another installment in the Souls franchise. Well, that is it for today. Those are the games I have been playing recently. Let me know in the comments below what games you've been playing recently, and let's have some conversations. So with that said, remember, keep the positivity flowing, and I'll see you next time with more PlayStation content. Thanks guys.